الله أكبر الله أكبر.
Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulillah. Which is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala prohibited riba, all kind of form of riba, usury. قال الغزالي رحمه الله وقد حرمه الله تعالى وشدد الأمر فيه ويجب الاحتراز منه على الصيارفة المتعاملين على النقدين. So that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala prohibited riba and made sure that the prohibition of riba, there's no doubt about it. Prohibition of riba. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, أحل الله البيع وحرم الربا. Allah made bay'a halal and made riba prohibited. Allah حرم الربا. Huh?
Haram directly.
Yes, use the word haram. حل الله البيع وحرم الربا. Not only that, is the sin that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, if you don't quit, فَأَذَنُوا بِحَرْبٍ مِّنَ اللَّهِ. If you don't quit dealing with riba, Allah will wage war against you, Allah says. But riba, it is one of the most strongest prohibition. Alcohol, in terms of food, the most strongest prohibition. And riba, the most strong prohibition in terms of dealings. It is the only act that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, if you don't do so, فَأَذَنُوا بِحَرْبٍ مِّنَ اللَّهِ. Wait for a war coming from Allah. That's very serious. وَتَسَهَلَ النَّاسُ فِيهِ. People take it easy and riba. For Imam al-Ghazali says, وَيَجِبُ الاحتراز منه على الصيارفة المتعاملين على النقدين. He said the people who are dealing with currency and exchange of money, they have to be the most careful and alert people of not earning and consuming riba. And even people who are selling food. At the time, food used to be also a means of exchange. I give you this kind of dates, give me this kind of dates. Give you some rice, huh?
Border.
Huh?
Border.
Burden and commodity.
Border.
Terms. Okay, terms. Exchange.
You're exchanging the product for product as opposed to having a...
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yes. What do you call that?
Barter.
Barter.
Yeah.
Okay, that, we want things for, but it is not money, it is commodity. طيب وعلى الصيد في أن يحترز من النسيئة والفضل. A person who deal with cash has to be careful of what's called riba al-nasi'a. There's something called riba al-nasi'a or riba al-fadl. What's the difference between riba al-nasi'a or riba al-fadl?
Nasiya is when you're buying something on terms. Right?
In terms and buying time. There's time.
Right.
And fadl? Fadl is when exchange things with different qualities.
Oh, for...
Yes. Okay. قال أما النسيئة فإنه لا يبيع شيئا من جواهر النقدين بشيء من جواهر النقدين إلا يدا بيد. The person does not sell gold or silver with the paying of somebody paying back in silver or gold, except hand immediate. There's no time. If there's a time factor, it becomes riba. Somebody want to buy a necklace made of gold, and they weighed the necklace and said, this is how much it's worth. A person paying it with gold. That has to be immediately. I give you this, you give me this. What he says, I give you this, but give me this amount of gold a year later. That's riba.
But what if it's the same amount?
The same amount is fine.
But if it's more,
It's more, yeah.
right?
It's riba. If it's more and hand behind, yani exchange immediately, there's no time factor.
Right.
There's no, the whole idea of the riba is a delaying of paying or taking advantage of someone in need for them to pay more for what is supposed to be paying because of time factor.
But this is, you're saying gold with gold, right?
Yes, and
How about it was gold with money?
gold was money that if he is still, if a person says, I'm giving you $100,
Right.
pay me this much gold next time. If the gold is equal $100, it's no problem. If the gold more than $100 is riba. Right. Yes.
Say that taking advantage of time. What if it's like a state of emergency and you own a gas station? Are you allowed to make the gas price higher because of the time? Would that be considered the same thing?
No, that's different though. There's another issue of pricing, jacking the price and raising the prices because of the need of people. You know, in the Islamic principle, al-musa'ir huwa Allah. The one who set the price is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, meaning supplies and demand. Manipulating the market is not permissible, Islamically. We said that's called ihtikar, monopoly. I have cash and go buy all, especially in food, buy all the bread in the market and say, you guys use either you pay this much or you starve.
Ihtikar is hoarding.
Hoarding?
Hoarding, yeah.
Hoarding.
Yeah.
Yeah, holding it.
Hoard.
No, but I'm saying means
With an R, yeah.
hoarding it, but also means to hold.
Right.
To hold things.
Right. You go and make a warehouse full of this thing that everybody wants.
Yes.
And you just wait until the price really goes up, and then you say, come and buy it.
Yes.
That's ihtikar.
Yes, that's ihtikar. Maybe it's hoarding and ihtikar is too close to each other. But that's what it is it, you know?
So that's
It's not permissible. You know, Islamic ethics in business, if Muslims were to follow it and the world would follow it, would have no problem at all in economics dealing. Is a
Then there's a
problem.
question, how much profit is allowed by Sharia? What percentage of profit is allowed by Sharia?
There's no percentage somebody can tell you by Sharia. There's no percentage. But there's a moral ethics exploiting people. It's not permissible. A person who's a stranger in town, and you know that they're a stranger, the market value of the house is $100,000. This person does not read the newspaper, doesn't know the market values. The house next to it is 100,000. I said this house costs 200,000, 300,000. That's not permissible from Islamic perspective. It's called ghaban al-mustarsil. Ghaban al-mustarsil riba. A person passing by and doesn't know, and he took advantage of their ignorance, and he sold them things like outrageous, not permissible. No. Right. Some people take like raw gold and ask somebody to make something out of it. Sometimes coins. They used to ask them to make it coins, or to make a necklace out of it, and so forth. He says, for example, وتسليم الصائر في الذهب إلى دار الضرب, means the way they make the money. وشراء الدنانير المضروبة حرام من حيث النساء ومن حيث أن الغالب أن يجري فيه تفاضل إذا لا يرد المضروب مثل وزنه. So two things will happen to this. One, in the issue of riba, that a person says, you know, this is my money, you give it to the pawn shop. Or you give it to someone who may transfer the gold to necklaces and so forth. And he does that and says, later come and buy your own gold. And therefore you come and buy your own gold with hijack prices. But he took the gold for the time. That's what happened in pawn shops sometimes. That is riba. And not permissible. طيب أما الفضل the riba, the other called الفضل. الفضل, by the way, in Arabic means what? Preference, or something, preferring something, you know, preferring something about other things. ويحترز منه في ثلاثة أمور. He said you have to be careful of three things. في بيع المكسر بالصحيح ولا تجوز المعاملة فيهما إلا مع المماثلة. وبيع الجيد بالرديء فلا ينبغي يشتري رديئا بجيد دونه في الوزن ويبيع رديئا بجيد فوقه في الوزن. What they used to do is that a person had type of dates and let it give dates grade A, B, and C. A is high quality, C the least quality. A person come in need and says, you know, I really wanted cash, but I want $10 and I will give you a ton of whatever I have of say a kilo of rice. If that's selling and buying, there's nothing wrong with that because money was rice. But if you have a type of rice, you give it to this person. And the person says, oh, yeah, well, I'll pay you back with C rice. Is that okay? That is not just riba. That's riba because the quality, the quantity is decreased, but the quality, the quantity is the same, the quality have decreased. The other person have lost. Okay? Now, some of this business dealing, you don't see it in America. That's why when people sometimes teach fiqh Maliki, like Khalil, some chapter you don't teach anymore. Dealing with the issue of slavery and so forth. They're not relevant. You don't teach them. You said until a person is in need of them, they go and study them. For this some aspect, I'm going to pass on it very quickly because it's not what you do with in America. Now extending food with food. Okay. Now, فإذا اختلف الجنسان فلا حرج في الفضل. That he said that if a person were to sell something and the kind of food are of different kinds, grapes with dates, that's okay. Now, if you feel hot, you can have the fan if you want to. If you feel, right? قال, and look at this something very interesting here. طيب, what happened? He said the third category في المركبات. You know what المركبات is?
Means citrus fruits.
What?
Citrus fruits?
Food?
Citrus fruits.
Fruits.
Yeah.
No. مركبات, things are mixed.
It comes from tarkib, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
From تركيب. For example, من الذهب والفضة. من المركبات من الذهب والفضة. Here, That, by the way, the other one is murattabat. This is murakkabat. The dhahab wal fidda, sometimes you have gold and silver being mixed together. What do you do if the value is not clear? Something mixed with gold and silver. إذا كان مقدار الذهب مجهولا لم تصح المعاملة عليه أصلا إلا إذا كان ذلك نقدا جاري في البلد فإنه ترخص في المعاملة فيه إذا لم يقابل بالنقد. يا أخي Islam is beautiful. He says if the quantity of gold is not being known, it's not permissible to make exchange or business because the quantity is what? It's not tangible. Remember 3 things we said have to be. Remember them?
They have to be clearly known. One of them was you have whatever you're doing in business.
In order to sell things and buy things, 3 criteria have to be matched. What are they?
You have to have ownership of it.
What are you saying?
One of them is that you have to know what the actual amount is. The amount
Yes.
of it has got to be clear.
Yes. What are the words that we said in English, translating the Arabic? This man is brilliant, Imam al-Ghazali.
There has to be a tangible piece of.
Tangible?
It has to be.
How to be tangible?
It has to be there, present. I mean, you have to have.
Tangible and?
You have to have ownership of it.
Yes, ownership. Remember last week? So to be identifiable, you have to be able to identify it. I cannot sell you something that is not identifiable. You have to say, what are you selling me? I'm selling you a chair. What type of chair? What is the measure of the chair? What the color of the chair? Identifiable. To be identifiable. Has to be measurable. Identified as a chair, and you have to be able to measure. And it has to be what? Tangible. Or deliverable. You can be able to deliver it. I can sell you something, it's a chair. He said, okay, let me have the chair. I said, by the way, there's what do you call lien against the chair. I'm sorry. Oh, and the buyer is facet. You cannot have a lien and he's selling me the chair. You see what I'm saying? Those are the 3 things. And then within it we say you have to own it in order to be tangible. You have to be able to describe it to be identifiable. You have to have the ownership in the sense that, or the ability to delivering it, because it has to be in your possession. You have to be able to possess it first. If the people follow that, then gambling in buying and selling stocks will disappear. Stock options. Is stock option is in your hand? What are you selling actually? If you sell the option,
You're selling
Speculation.
You're selling the option to purchase.
and the person who buying the option buying what? A person buying the stock option is buying what?
With it, you're buying nothing but the intention of that stock going to a certain price.
Probabilities.
Right.
It's true or not? Stock options, huh?
Isn't the stock part of the company?
Stock is part of the company, the option is not.
Yeah, that people know
Depending
that
on
most
speculation.
people will buy stock outright. Some people buy it through options. So generally stock is not the problem, it's
Speculative aspect.
it's the new way of buying which is options.
It's options. I'm talking about the option. The
Most
stock is
people
fine.
don't do that.
The stock is a share. The option is the possibility of buying it. It's not a commodity.
Just like you can't sell a harvest before it is.
Exactly. That's what
it's
we.
the same concept
Yes.
here, actually. You're
Yeah.
buying something that is a future expectation.
Yes.
So future trading is not permissible
Exactly.
because that's what
Futures is.
like mercantile exchange. That's what they do.
Futures.
They sell you corn of May. The, the corn that comes out in May. That's the one that you're.
That's
buying.
not permissible, Islam. You know why? Because you build the whole system around the people doing the buying these options. If it doesn't come out, the system collapses.
Well, let's assume you have, you know it's going to come out, but you don't know when it comes out what price, what value it's going to
No,
have.
but you see, yes, there's one thing, but the problem is this: if something happened, whether anything like people, one year that was very cold in Florida, the price of the orange juice went up. You know why? Because the orange was freezing, frozen. The crops was, corrupted. A person who had bought that orange is gone. The option here is this: the company give the people their money back. That company is out of business. You see what I'm saying? Therefore, in Islam, when it comes to business, there are three moral principles. One, no deception. You cannot deceive anyone. That's maqsad in Sharia. No deception. Called al-gharar. Deceiving people. Number two is to reduce man-made risk. There's risk out of your hand. Man-made risk. Poor management, the what do you call the plan of buying things before they occurred. All of this. Number three is to increase the wealth in a tangible, real sense. That was the objective. That a person called in Quran called Imran. Okay, this Imran is to bring about prosperity and goodness and so forth through economics and money dealing and so forth. And therefore it cannot be a facade. You cannot rent money, for example. Because renting money is not tangible, not something beneficial. I'll give you the money, I don't know what you're going to do with it. But I'll give you $100, give me $150. I don't care what you're going to use it for. That's the nation. No, yeah.
Is this only with agriculture or other products? Like Apple is coming out with a new product, you can buy this one.
With that?
Based on the fact that they are coming out with a new product.
You see, you can invest in somebody's idea to say, a person says, I would like to give me money so that I can develop this product. That's fine, you're taking a risk in business. But buying something before it comes to existence, it is not permissible. See what I'm saying? طيب. قال, but he says that in the al-murakkabat, in gold mixed with silver, he said if this time is this kind of form of coins, that's okay. If it's a commodity, it's not okay. Why he said that? Imam Ghazali differentiate between the coins and a commodity. Why did he do that? Why? Because the coin has to be something called makhtum. There's a regulation of money. If people agree what this money look like, there's a weight of it, and so forth, and the Bayt al-Mal or the central bank say do what the money is, then you're going to use it for the value of the money. You see what I'm saying? It's different from selling the silver and the gold itself. If it's not, the measure of it is not known, it's not permissible to sell it or to buy. Right? With that? Yeah, but you see the nanir, the money used to be a metal. Imam Ghazali rahimahullah says, if have been agreed upon that form of money, then a person doesn't have to ask how much gold I need, how much silver in it. As long as have been used, like say this much is dinar, this much is dirham, this dinar, the size and so forth, and there's a sealing of the Khalifa on it, then that's all fine. If a كانت مجهولة, if it was unknown, and a person said, by the way, I made the dirham, this is my dirham, said, no. It has to be agreed upon to be a dirham.
So in times of instability, you don't have the government authority, you don't have the dawla behind the money.
What's that?
In times of instability or fitna, you don't have a dawla behind the coin. It's just,
That's a problem.
yes.
Yeah.
If you state the currency is problem.
Absolutely. But he says here, Imam Ghazali rahimahullah says, that mix of gold and silver, you cannot buy with it gold and silver at the exchange of gold and silver. You have to buy with it other commodity other than gold and silver. Is that understandable?
Because the amount of the gold and
You don't
silver
know.
in it is unknown.
Exactly. What the hell is this guy? Imam Ghazali, that big brain. Like he would talk about moral, etiquettes, and he dived so deep in economics. What a university, And now have Geller making an ad says, if there's a war between the savage and civilized, you stand with it. Who's the savage? What are you talking? Are you out of your mind? You're telling this man not civilized? He probably doesn't know even to say ABC this late. What are you talking about? Goodness gracious. You know what I mean? This is civilized. Show me who other than Muslim would do this. Any kind of literature, bring any literature of any century, and bring me a scholar of any religion. We'll talk about economics in depth, then we'll talk about akhlaq in depth, then we'll talk about philosophy in depth, then we'll talk about logic in depth, then we'll talk about theology in depth, talk about history in depth. What is this? This is amazing. الناس لا يعلمون. This cannot be except wahy that help the Quran and the Sunnah of Rasulullah. If he's not drinking from that, where he is drinking from? A formula being made in a pharmacy here? Right. So that a little bit my excitement. I'm sorry. No. I'm saying the wahy of Quran and the Sunnah of Rasulullah. If you drink from that, then you are in guidance.
Yes, but this is pretty close. Imam or something.
Inspired, been inspired.
And what would the Arabic word?
Huh? Ilham. Yani, it brings somebody and asks him, I want you to write in details, think about this issue in details. There was no library, there was no Harvard, there was no Yale. And you just sit there and you write this stuff. What is this? Subhanallah.
A gift from Allah.
A gift from Allah. There's no other explanation. Someone like Imam Nawawi died in the age of 45. Wrote books This lady said civilized and savage. The books that, the biggest brain today will not be able to produce what Noah produced. You're talking about Imam al-Razi? Talking about Farabi? Ibn al-Qayyim? Taymiyyah? What are you talking about? And people and put in an ad say there's a savage and civilized. Who's a savage? Okay. I've just been bothering from Sintabon, and it just came out. So,
Taking it out on yourself.
huh?
Taking it out on yourself.
Yes, I've been thinking about it, and because I'm telling you, I spent years of studying those ulama, and everything I studied here in the West or the East, I become so small when I read those people. You just say, what are they? Somebody speak about language, that he's a linguist. You say, oh, this is the expertise of language. And then you read another book he wrote in history. They said, SubhanAllah, he's a historian. Then, oh, he's a philosopher. And people say savage and civilized. We started the run.
The understanding it and enjoying it itself is a gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Alhamdulillah.
So many people read it and not getting it.
Feel bored with it. Yeah, because you have to sense of appreciation.
Sheikh, after they call the Prophet a magician, there is nothing they can say that will be worse than that.
Yeah.
After what they call the Prophet, all of this is nothing.
Yes. No, but when you read the Muslim scholars, you have no doubt in your heart that whatever the people that say, they just speaking nonsense. They don't know this. If the world come to know it, then we'll say, wow. I was in a gathering in Washington D.C. and a Christian Arab said the following. He said, there's so many things said against Islam and Muslims. But he said, I would like to tell you, Islam produced the most sophisticated civilization. He said in Brooklyn just last week. He said, this is Islam that produced Ibn Rushd, Ibn Khaldun, Ibn Qayyim, and so forth. He said, this Muslim who produced the civilization of Andalusia. Therefore, okay.
They have a purpose.
Now?
They have a purpose. People are trying to get a war started, so therefore you make your opponent look subhuman, so it's all
Yes.
right to wipe him out. That's the purpose, and they've been at it for 20 years.
Yeah, that's true. But alhamdulillah, Allah gifted those great Muslim scholars. طيب بل ينبغي يشتري متاعا اخر كان قد ردته معلوما الا اذا كان مموما بالذهب تمويها لا يحصل منه ذهب المقصود عند العرض على النار ويجوز بيعها بمثلها بالنقره مما اريد من غير النقره. And he said that if people shape particular what do you call them, huli, which is like necklace and bracelets and so forth, and people the value become known because of the amount of work they put on it, that also is okay, because sometimes it is the amount of gold, but sometimes also it is how much people have put in terms of art to things, which is, it may be the value be different, the weight may be the same, but because of the amount of work on it, made it more expensive. You understand that? And he said sometimes the quantity is the same of gold. But somebody, both necklace, bracelet, have different kind of decoration. What do you call that? Design. Well, based on how much time and value of time and labor person put in designing one bracelet, increase the price. Because no one can come and say, this is you're selling things more than the value of it. Because the other value have been added to that. قال وكذلك لا يجوز للصيرفي. صيرفي is the banker, like a person, صراف, أن يشتري قلادة فيها خرز وذهب بذهب ولا يبيعه. يعني you cannot buy a necklace that gold and non-gold and then sell it with gold, because you creating you deceiving another person. Okay, because gold have what? Have high quality, high value than the others. You know, you cannot do that.
But most of the jewelry made is not pure gold. They have to mix something to
And
shape it.
that's why he says, you remember that in the beginning, he says that if قال وكذلك كل حلي مركب من ذهب وفضة فلا يشرى إلا بذهب لا بالذهب ولا بالفضة بل ينبغي يشتري بمتاع آخر. He said that the حلي, the jewelry be made or mixed, you should buy other commodities to buy it. You cannot use gold to buy it.
Well, in this day and age, the amount of gold, the percentage of gold in jewelry is known.
It's known.
Yeah.
Yes.
First of all, you've got carat ratings. Even if you don't know that, there are machines you can put it in, and it will tell you exactly how much gold it has got in it.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's very easy
To differentiate. Right.
Supposed to have a number on it. Stands from 12 to 24 carats.
With that?
If you buy the pure gold, it's very soft. You cannot make ornaments out of it.
Yeah.
In order to give it a strength, you want to add copper. And every time you buy any gold material, the number is inscribed on it. If it's 12 carats.
Yeah, but as Brother Rida said, but they tell you how pure it is.
No, it should be written on. Like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
have these bracelets, it
Yeah.
says inside
Yes.
how much carats of gold it is.
He gave another example of, look at this. So Islam is so in details. قال وأنه نعم ويجوز بالفضة وغير عليه بالتقابل في المجلس. اختلف جنس الطعام المبيع والمشتري أو لم يختلف، فإن اتحد الجنس فعليه التقابل ومراعاة المماثل. والمعتاد في هذا معاملة القصاب بأن يسلم إليه الغنم ويشتري منه اللحم نقدا أو نسيئة فهو حرام. Look at this. Somebody gives somebody goats, livestock, it's animals. Said, have this. واشتري بها اللحم نقدا أو نسيئة فهو حرام. Somebody gives somebody a live goat. And the other guy said, okay, give me your goat. I will give you, inshallah, when I slaughter it. Or when I have the meat, I will give you 2 kilos of meat. But come next week. That's not permissible. It's not permissible. Yes.
No, you don't trust him to give you.
No.
The weight can change.
Huh? What that?
The weight can change of an animal.
There's 2 things on this. Number 1, that if a person is in need and come and says, really, I'll give you my goat. Give me like $10 cash. Give you $10 cash. Say, by the way, when you come back, if you ask, you give me you give me the $10 when you come back, bring me the $10, I will give you a kilo of meat. What happened? He took the goat. You call that what? Bond. The goat, you want it $10. Take the $10. At the time you come back, give me my $10, I'm not going to give you the goat. I'm going to give you a kilo of meat. There's riba here or no?
Yes.
There's riba. But what he did, he made it like I sold you meat. Was it $10? But he did sell me, like, as you said, the 10 pounds goat. At the time, people have the money, they take advantage for people who are in need. By have them to give the possessions of less value, what is value, the value is, and then so that it doesn't call riba, give me $10, give me $15. Say no. I'm gonna sell you to 1 kilo meat when they come back. Is it happening today or not?
Well, I heard this is happening in Sierra Leone.
Sierra Leone?
Yeah, they took their diamond.
A diamond?
Yeah, somebody told me physically, how they exactly say
It happened around the world. They took the raw diamond. They say we'll give you food. But if you want to buy this diamond from us, you have to do this much, or to pay this much to get it back. Or we're gonna take it raw and we're gonna design it and bring it back, sell it to you. Taking advantage of people. Now, قال ومعاملة الخباز أن يسلم إليه الحنطة ويشتري بها الخبز النسيء أو نقدا أو أو اللبن ليأخذ منه الجبن والسمن والزبد وسائر أجزاء اللبن فهو أيضا حرام.
Can I ask a question? So we have this story in Quran of Shu'aib with Hazrat Musa. Shu'aib told Hazrat Musa that you have to stay for 10 years.
8 years.
8 years.
فإن أتممت 10 فمن عندك. If you complete 10, this is up to you.
Right. So
I don't see the time from here.
it's 10 minutes to 8.
Okay. No.
So what happens in that case? Because he told him to wait 8 years or up to 10 years.
Yeah. This is a mahar. What is a mahar?
Well, wait a minute. But mahar is supposed to go to the girl, right? In this case, he was working for the father.
No. Akhi, this is a very important point. I have an insight, inshallah, on this. Who was serving the father?
The girls.
The girls.
Right.
The girls, they don't want to leave their father. But the father cannot make it an obligatory in his son-in-law to serve him. Can he? Therefore, he made it a mahar. When it becomes a mahar, it becomes obligatory. This daughter and the other daughter, they don't have to do serve anymore. He needs somebody to help him. But at the same time, he wants to keep him as long as he can because Musa is still a stranger for him. Let me test this man for 8 years if he was my daughter. If he does good, then he can go with this girl. فhe said to him, 8 years, أتممت 10 فمن عندك. Musa عليه السلام completed the 10. That's the mahar. Yani, the question is why he asked for 8 and 10?
No, I'm talking about the duration here. Is it? I mean, he made him do something for a period of time.
Yeah. That labor has nothing to do with money.
2 years is just...
That's labor.
Uh-huh.
That's labor.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I can say, okay, I built the house for you, but you work for me for 10 years. You get your salary in advance by buying you a house. Mm-hmm. That's Islamically, if people agreed, it is nothing wrong with that. Except if a person take advantage of someone
Right.
who is in need. Damage.
He's saying that the other food is, in his mind, that he's taking advantage. That's
It was
that's a
optional.
gift.
That was optional.
Yeah, it's a gift. It's a gift from Muslim.
It's Musa alayhi salam who chose to stay 10 years. Yes.
Isn't Mahar for brother to give his wife, I mean, man, woman?
Okay.
How can it be Mahar from Musa to
No, you see, you have to remember that this daughter, she said, Ya abat ista'jirhu. She said, oh, my father hired him. The father wanted to catch two birds with one stone. She wanted the father to hire the man. He said, you know what? She wanted me to hire him, but she said good things about him. Let's let them get married. Okay? And he still can work for me. You know what I mean? Ya abad istajirhu. That was, she didn't say, oh, dad, let me marry this man. She said, oh, my father hired him. Because he's qawi, he's strong, and he's trustworthy. That he got it. He said, okay, she's interested. He said, إني أريد أن أنكحك إحدى البنتين هذين على أن تجعلني 8 حجج. I want you to marry one of those two daughters. Don't you work for us for 8 years? The suggestion comes from the daughter. The father fulfilling the wish of his daughter. يا سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك لا اله الا انت استغفرك واتوب اليك اعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم والعصر ان الانسان لفي خسر الا الذين امنوا وعملوا الصالحات تواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر
الله أكبر الله أكبر